Hi, I am Ilyona and today we will talk about being motivated to preach. Before we go deeper with our conversation, allow me to share with you my NLTC journey in a nutshell. Whenever someone asks me about my experience in NLTC, I usually answer, it's okay, it's fine. But if given the chance to sit down and share, I would be exhilarated to tell you that I am having the best time of my life. The word I'm receiving, the people I'm meeting, the blessings I'm getting, the places I'm going, the opportunities I'm experiencing, they're all wonderful. And I could tell you about those things in details non-stop. What I'm trying to harp on is that whenever we have a remarkable experience in life, we just love to talk about it to people, don't we? It could be about your first roller coaster ride, a taste of the best burger you have, your trip to Boracay with your family, or perhaps an encounter with someone you like. How about you? Have you had a remarkable experience that you love so much that you can't stop talking about it? Share it in the group. I bet you have a lot of unforgettable experiences you'd love to share on the table. In John 4, we will find the story of a Samaritan woman who had an encounter with Jesus. In the course of their conversation, the woman marveled at how Jesus knew everything about her, and she received right there and then her salvation. John 4:28 to 29 says, the woman then left her water pot, went her way into the city, and said to the men, come, see a man who told me all things that I ever did. Could this be the Christ? The Samaritan woman had an encounter with Jesus' love, and she can't stop talking about him. Can you still remember the first time you encountered God's love? How was the experience? We all have our individual testimonies of God's love, and they are counted as beautiful. But how many of us know that these testimonies are not meant to be kept in the dark? We are not supposed to keep them to ourselves, but instead share them with the world, so they too would hear and believe this good news of faith. Just like what happened to the neighbors of the Samaritan woman in John 4:39. And many of the Samaritans of that city believed in him because of the word of the woman who testified. He told me all that I ever did. And those people had their lives transformed because they too had an encounter with Jesus. If given a moment to sit down and preach, to whom will you share about Jesus and witness their lives change? We are commissioned by Jesus to spread the gospel. That Jesus, the Son of God, was conceived by the Holy Spirit, born of the Virgin, was crucified, died, resurrected from the dead, and is now seated at the right hand of the Father. This is the finished works of Jesus that resulted in salvation and righteousness for those who believe. This is the good news we ought to spread to make Jesus known and change people's lives. So go and tell the world the goodness of God's love. I hope that the wonderful testimonies you heard motivated you to preach the word to the world with the desire to see lives turn around and be transformed by God's unconditional love. Let us be motivated to preach, and let us not be ashamed of the gospel, the good news that changed our lives forever.